Get some input, some ideas. One thing, talking about the police jurisdiction, again, patrolling the jurisdiction, how much money that costs, and so forth, and how much manpower, how many hours that takes. I think that deserves some discussion and consideration. Just throw it out for discussion. Anybody?
Well, right now, in the police jurisdiction, Walmart's brings in quite a bit of money, I think. All these businesses out there, they do pay a half license tax, and they do have to pay taxes.
Right, I wasn't talking about reducing the jurisdiction. I'm just saying controlling the jurisdiction. We would answer calls. We still have the jurisdiction out there, but we don't have to control it, I don't think.
We don't have to control it, but we do have to show that we've spent as much money in the police jurisdiction as we've taken in. In other words, you can't just take money in and not patrol it. You've got to show that you spent as much money. Is that right, Ms. Treasurer?
That's exactly right.
But that could also be fire.
Pardon?
That could also be fire. It's anything that we spend out there, not necessarily just police.
Oh, it could be fire, yes, that's correct. Right. It could be anything. And it's been a pretty good relationship over the years, as far as I can tell. I don't know. It protects, it does give you police, in my opinion, and I'm not a policeman, but it's kind of like you know what's going on the outside of your city.
The reason I was talking about
the good part about it.
We need more police officers if we're going to continue doing that. That's what I'm talking about, one versus the other maybe. We have to have 4 more police officers. What's that going to cost versus what we would lose?
Well, statewide, we're one of the highest, one of the cities with the most police officers per 1,000 per capita population. So we have 2 police officers per 1,000 citizens. The problem is when you take in 88 square miles, which is the jurisdiction, and having to spread that. There's about only one other city in the state that's got more police officers than us, and that's Hoover, at 2.2 per 1,000 people in their population. So we're pretty much at the top. It's just that we are spreading them too thin. So a lot of people in the jurisdiction, of course, we do get sales tax, half the sales tax, like Mike said, half the business license. According to the league, you get to keep that if you pull back your jurisdiction. It's just fees, which would be building permits, those kinds of fees that you would not get if you pull back your jurisdiction.
We have to be careful what we believe from the league these days, don't we?
Why is that? I don't know what you're talking about.
All the answer.
So I don't know, but I don't think it's to be taken lightly just because of money. We might be spending $10,000 more than we're taking in or something, you know. And I don't know how much we're taking in or how much we're spending. But we can't judge everything by money.
What we need to look at then maybe is how many more officers and cars do we need to have the proper ratio we're talking about, the 88 square miles. Chief, do you have any inputs back there on that?
Council President, council members. Yes, but I would like to reserve specifics. I'm not in total agreement with some of the numbers that were mentioned. I will say this, that according to the FBI statistics, we're down 7 officers just within the city municipal area, just within the city limits. I'm down 7 officers. So I believe that with the proposal that I have for the upcoming FACT committee, which will then be presented to you all, I'm asking for a total of 14 officers within the next 5 years, 7 initially within next year. And that will pretty much, I don't think we actually need what the FBI is suggesting that we need. I'm not suggesting that we need 1 officer per 1,000 people even. So those kinds of issues are, you have to look at total calls for service, how much time we're actually spending out in the police jurisdiction. We do spend a lot of time out there as well as we do the rest of it because that's what we are currently charged with, is that responsibility and that accountability.